minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Viewers, I am Dr. Nisar Aziz, and today we are presenting the program Our Society, and the topic for discussion is the role of mothers in primary education of a child. In the previous episode, I gave you a summary of different stakeholders of primary education, and I promised to discuss all the stakeholders' role one by one, and mother is the major stakeholder of a child and a child's education as well. I looked around and I tried to find a very suitable guest who can talk about this issue and can be seen as a role model. And I am very lucky that I found Madam Sarah. She is a big name in the field of education. She came as a migrant to this country from Malaysia. She managed her family. Then she became a student and she got higher qualification from the University of Oxford. She got so many other qualifications, and she is a qualified teacher. She is a principal of 4 colleges, and she has some other institutions, academic institutions in other countries as well, and she has devoted her life in the field for the education and development of the poor people. Viewers, it is easy to say something, but it is very, very difficult to practice. And I don't want to take too long to just explain something about the personality which I have invited today. And now I will request Madam Sarah to speak to you directly. And Madam Sarah, I warmly welcome you to this program.
Good evening, sir.
And good evening. This is my pleasure, rather honor for me and for this TV to invite you as a guest speaker today.
Thank you.
And this is not an ordinary interview. And from the core of my heart, I say thank you to you. And on behalf of the TV, on behalf of the audience, I welcome you, and I will request you to tell us something about your experiences as a migrant, as a student, and as a mother, and then as an academician and educationist.
Thank you.
Please.
Right. My name has been shortened to Sarah. I'm Saraswathi. I originate from Malaysia. I came to this country 33 years ago with my 2 kids and my husband, who wanted to read law. He has completed his law, and I followed him as a migrant. But before I came to this country, I was already teaching 18 years in Malaysia, and I had the background. When I came here with my 2 kids, it was very new for my kids, but I decided I'm going to challenge everything and bring up my kids in this country and make them very important and contribute to this country. And that's what I have done. Of course, over the 33 years, I've gone through quite a lot of ups and downs, but I am an achiever, and I expect every Asian woman to be an achiever, and that is my goal. And what I did was, I know only teaching. I've been only teaching. I don't know anything else. I can teach fantastically. When I came to this country, I had to survive, and I had to suit myself for the education. Then my children were 7 and 3. For their sake, I had to suit myself and work in a kitchen as a caterer, as a cook, so that it meets the needs of my children's education. I send them to school. In the morning, I go to work and I come back. I was working in the schools' kitchens, and then I brought them back. Every mother should. Mother is very fundamental to bring up children.
Yeah, Madam, excuse me, would you now tell us something about your student life? Because you came as a migrant, you joined your family,
Yes.
and now we would like to know a bit more about your student
I wasn't
life.
actually forced to be a student, but I wanted to develop myself. And that is why, though I was doing a full-time job on a sessional, I had to go to university, to Oxford, to get my degree from there. And I used to also do an evening studying so that I become a professional in my area of the degree, which is hotel management. And I used to do 2 jobs. One will be the full-time, and the other one was a part-time in a library. So I did 4 things in a year to accomplish that. And I am 100% sure every woman, every Asian woman should be able to do it. When I can do it, they can do it. It's only perseverance, confidence, and if you give them a push, they will do it. And
then
that's my belief.
Right, and then you became a qualified teacher,
Yes,
and you got that
yes.
qualification CERT.ED as well.
That is one thing. When I'm already a qualified teacher in Malaysia,
Right,
and I did British qualification. But when I came to this country, I was told that is not recognized here.
right.
And that is happening even to date. So that is why I had to go back to Victoria University of Manchester to do my CERT.ED again.
Very
And
good.
that is why I became a qualified teacher to teach in this country. I have been teaching for 43 years from all over the world, and I'm here settled for the past 33 years. I've been now teaching also. Because I went through that problem, I would like all teachers who have been teaching in their respective countries to upgrade themselves, upskill themselves, and teach in this country, because you have the skill.
Right.
You can be a better teacher. Only what that you need is qualification. And that is why in my academy, my favorite subject is teacher training.
Very good.
I have trained, I think, thousands of teachers over the years.
Okay.
And I'm very proud of it. And majority of them are women.
Right.
And
as an educationist, what type of courses have you designed? And
right, I've done quite a number of courses. The first thing, one thing that I'm very proud of is when I first opened the college, one very tiny Asian woman came down and says, "Madam, do you teach driving test, driving?" I said, "No." "What do you drive?" I asked her. "Yes, I drive." "Okay." Then I created advanced driving instructors course for women only. I was the first one to do, and now because they came through the course, I have 10 students who are having their own driving schools. I'm ever so proud of them, and
Well done.
they have become entrepreneurs in
Very
the
good.
driving area, and I'm sure many women can do that, and I would love to do it. And I want. They are all mothers. Again, they are all mothers. They have children. They adjusted their time accordingly to develop themselves and become entrepreneurs. And I'll be the first person to help anyone who wants to be entrepreneurs or who want to make good use of their time. At the same time, taking care of the children and bringing them up properly in this country.
Madam, in the previous episode, I presented the summary of the stakeholders. Students are the main stakeholders of a primary education system. Then parents, then society, then businesses, then teachers, then the management of schools like you.
Yes.
and then society on the whole. And today's topic is basically the role of mothers.
Yes.
And would you like to share your experiences as a mother and address the audience? What is the role of mothers in the development of a child,
Okay.
and how mothers can develop their children nicely in the light of your experiences?
I would like to, I don't know how to explain this. I want the audience to understand mothers are the fundamental human beings for a child. So when they bring up, in this country especially, give more attention to the child when they are growing up. That's the first thing you have to do. Oh, you should be very close with the schools they are studying. Don't miss anything. Be brave, be confident to ask the teachers about the progress of your child. That's very, very important. What our people think is, oh, that's an English teacher, she knows what she's doing. No, no, you can do more than that. Look at their paperwork, look at their homework. Please have more attention to them. And don't let the child have their way. Never do that. Back home, where we come from, we have discipline. We had our culture to follow. We can still follow that here, but at the same time, also instill in your child that education is the most important thing in their life. So for them to compete with the society around them, that is very important. And a mother can do that. All that she has to do is give more time to the child. You have the whole day. Don't tell me, I don't like mothers telling me, I have to cook and clean. How long does it going to take? I'm a mother. I brought up 2 children in this country, and I still cook, I still clean, still did all my work. At the same time, I brought up my 2 children. And you can do that. At the same time, mothers, please develop yourself with the children. Only then you can help them in their education.
And how far your children are successful in their lives?
Okay, both my kids, the elder, she's a girl, she went to university here, and she's a registrar of a college now. She did a degree in Birmingham, in fact, here. Right. And then my son is an aircraft engineer who can rip apart an aircraft and put it together. Right. So, but both of them are still very, I should say I'm very lucky, or the way I brought them up, they are still disciplined. Right. It's not that some parents, I've seen very personally, it's a very sad thing, anything a child wants, a mother just buys, just to keep the child quiet. Please, for heaven's sake, don't do that. Don't do that. I can tell you one example, sir. Right. When my children were very small, even in the house, right. The girl was 7, the boy was 3. Right. If they have to do housework, I'll tell them, if you do this housework, or if you have to, if I say you have to do a multiplication, you have to memorize and tell me, I'll give you a certain number of points. Okay, I'll give you 10 points for sweeping the house, so, or cleaning a table or something. Then what I do, I accumulate all the points, then I take them to a shop. You can buy any books you want. That's what. So that is their reward. So they know when they do this, they can go and buy books, not iPad or mobile phones or things like that. So, but they know the books were useful for them. That's what they did. So that's how I brought them up. The importance of education was instilled in them from very small, young age. So they still know they have to. The whole family, we are educationists. We are all on the education field. That was including my dad, who was a headmaster. He always told us, invest on your education, ma. That's the only thing that you can survive any part of the world. And that is why I'm in this country and I'm educating not only foreigners, British-born people to become teachers.
Very good. Now, if I ask you to tell us something about the interpersonal skills which are essential for a child, and how did you teach interpersonal skills to your children?
It depends. When you mean interpersonal skills, I just want to know specifically what interpersonal.
Yeah, how to deal with the people, how to meet the people, how to greet them, how to interact with them, how to ask them something,
Yeah.
and how to tell them something, and how to manage
Yeah.
the relationships.
This is very simple. Don't we learn that back home? How to respect elders, how to speak to people. All that they have to do is build their confidence. Don't have the barrier saying that they are British white and we are Asians. Don't have the barrier. We are all are human beings, and we have all have intelligence. We have to upskill ourselves, that's all. And then as long as you build the confidence, you can work together. Mothers, please understand, you cannot just hold your children at home. You have to give them some exposure. At the same time, discipline them. Don't let them loose. You can't pull them back. Impossible to pull them back in this country. But always remember, you have been brought up in a very, very disciplined home. So if that discipline is back in this country, you will not lose your children. You will not lose. So the skills, interpersonal skills, comes from the mother, how she was brought up. She can always, she need not be that strict as back home, but give a little, give in a little, pull back a little, so your children knows, okay, that's my barrier, I can't go above that. But always remember, you are no lesser than anyone in this country. You have equal, in fact, better brains, better skills, you can develop the skills, and your children can do that. The mothers can do that for the children. And at the same time, the mother herself can develop. And I'm 100% sure you can do that.
Now, how would you guide us, and how we can develop the kids in terms of their academic skills for English language, mathematics, and computer skills. And now after the break, I will elaborate this question further. And now we will take a break. And after the break, I will explain, request you to tell us something more about the academic skills of the students, language skills, computing skills, mathematical skills, drawing skills. And after the break, we will meet again, and then we will start this discussion.
Thank you.
Audience, now we are going for a break, and after the break, we will continue this discussion. And I am sure you will enjoy this discussion, and now let's take a short break.